shows. Hey, we're live, and now it's time for a little promo, boys and girls.
Hey, everybody, it's Tim with the Attitude for Gratitude podcast down here at 4026 Washington Avenue North. We're at Will Work for Recovery. We do the podcast every Friday night. We go live at 8 p.m. Sometimes we go a little earlier, but I will make those notifications if that's the case. We're on TikTok Live, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and trying to break into some other platforms. But we are down here at Will Work for Recovery. We have meetings every night of the week at 7 p.m. On Wednesdays, we do a men's meeting and a separate women's meeting at 5 p.m. Come on down, do that hour meeting, hang out for some fellowship for an hour or so, and then we have the big meeting at 7 p.m. Every night of the week, there's a 7 p.m. meeting. Tuesdays, there's a Well-Bridie meeting. That's an Indigenous persons-based meeting where we do some spiritual readings and then share. Thursday night's more of a spiritual style meeting as well with Megan. Friday is a call-up meeting where you get a ticket and they call your number and you stand up and talk about what's been keeping you clean and sober. There's just all types of variety of recovery down here at Will Work for Recovery with the structured meeting every morning at 6:30 a.m. and on Sunday it's at 7 a.m. Other than that, like, this is a place that it's a resource center. It's an RCO. It's a recovery community organization. We have peer recovery specialists. We have multiple different avenues of recovery down here. We have a computer room with computer classes that have started, and they continually restart. So look into that. Speak with myself, Paul, Carolyn, anyone who's of service down here can kind of get you linked in. We've always got more things that come about. We got Chucky the Soap Man down here who's making soap by the bundles. Come on down and get some. If you haven't tried this soap, like, I implore you to give it a shot. Everyone who gets some always comes back for more. And Chuck's like, he's a godly man with the biggest heart of anyone I've ever met. He makes this soap and just hands it out. He does take donations, but basically I'm always watching him just hand soap out. So it's just, it's part of the different things that we do down here. Wednesday nights, there's a recovery podcast that they've started. It's called Rule 62 with a rotating type format of open door policy. Anyone can come in and share about their stories. And Friday nights, so the night of the podcast at 8:30, Big O started Recovery Okie. Like, there's just multiple things. And then Race has got the fire pit going all through the winter. He's built this big, huge, like, miraculous type fire pit with all these pallets around it. Just a lot of stuff happening down here. We got ping pong tables and foosball tables and prayer rooms and big monitors with big screen movies playing, all sorts of stuff. We have a full workout room. Come on down here, check it out. 4026 Washington Avenue North. If you're struggling, please reach out. Down 988 Intergroup, or come on down. Get ready, buckle up for the show.
Well, we're just going to check in with you tonight. We're going to schedule you. You know you're going to. So sit down. So I'm going to get with you first right now. I'm almost done sharing. So all you people out there watching me live, don't take it personal that we're not paying attention and blah, blah, blah. I'm just making sure that the world can see the Attitude for Gratitude show and everyone has an opportunity to share and see it. So, yeah, we're live and they're listening to me babble, but I'm busy sharing the show out to the world because I have a guest already in here and we were talking and I wasn't paying attention. So, with that said, welcome back to the Attitude for Gratitude podcast. I was in Mexico last week and Kevin sat in for me and he crushed it. So Kevin, thank you. And everyone that hopped on and interacted and watched the show, like, I'm really grateful for you guys. This was something really special for Kevin to do. And we're going to work something up where Kevin's going to probably do the first Friday of every month or the first 2 Fridays of every month with the type of show that we're having tonight and last week, where it's an open door policy. Like, we finally came to an arrangement of figuring out how we're going to be able to, find a middle ground of having scheduled guests, like the Attitude of Gratitude was for the whole beginning, to having an open door policy. So we'll know more as time goes by. But at the end of the day, like, we have faith that we get to talk about our recovery. All right, you going to grab people then? Oh, and I was like, what are you doing? No, it's secure. It ain't gonna fall.
Okay.
I mean,
I just see a baby and I see a big.
That's my boy.
I'm watching her.
Well, it happens. If it's heavy, it happens quick.
Yeah, it does. All right. Young lady, who are you?
I'm Dana, and
Oh. Boom, got you. You are who?
I'm Dana. I'm a recovering addict.
Welcome to the show. And you know what, young man, who are you?
My name's Sam. I'm a grateful recovering addict.
Welcome back to the show, the both of you. We got a veteran on the show and a kind of veteran because your show got kind of cut. You know what? You got me tripping too.
Yeah.
I'm worried. I'm gonna have to pull it out a little further.
Whoa.
I got it. Oh,
Camera move.
Here, watch it there. Right there we go.
I still don't.
There we go. All right, we got youngins in the house, and Tim doesn't want them falling. You see what the studio looks like, world? All right, so how's life been going? Tell us about how life's been going for you real quick.
Life has been good, but I've been struggling with a boyfriend that is out using, and I found needles at my house.
What'd you do?
I questioned him about it and got rid of him. And the relationship is,
Go ahead.
and the relationship's kind of on hold because he needs to figure out what he needs to do and take care of the warrant that was just put out on Wednesday for him from his PO.
Because, like,
Not checking in and not getting back into outpatient treatment.
so after the conversation, like we were just having, like I'm in my head about trying to respond and tell you about whatever, but like you got to watch out for
Me.
you. Is there children in the house?
No.
Okay. But yeah, at the end of the day, like you got to look out for you, and that's what you did. So that's been pretty tough on you.
Yes.
Did it make you want to use?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yes, it did. I've never been a needle user, but because it was the same DOC of mine, it made it hard. But I'm not, I was telling somebody today, I worked too hard to get to my year, but because it was, and doing school that I'm not, my purpose is more in depth than just going out and getting high.
Do you have a sponsor?
Yes, I do.
I'm proud of you just for what you just said. Like, and I'm not the one to validate you, but just from another fellow addict, hearing what you said, like, congratulations,
Thank you.
because you were tested. Come on in, buddy. Also, real quick here, what was your, all right, so you said like you found these needles in the house. You said that you did want to use. What'd you do next? Like,
I actually came and listened to, I got picked up to come to the walk and talk.
walk and talk at 7:00 at Will Work for Recovery
Yep.
on Saturday nights.
Yes, sir.
So you did some more recovery. That's what you did. Damn, I'm kind of just floored because usually that's not the story you get to hear when someone comes and shares about that. So I'm, like I said, again, I'm proud of you, and like that's an honor to hear someone share that without it being something that's usually not a happy ending. So what's the plan now moving forward for you?
Working with my sponsor, finishing up school because I'm at midterms right now. So finishing up that and just trying to finish the semester strong and get ready for summer semester.
Proud of
And to
you.
work with Tim to get on and do a full hour of my story.
It's gonna go as long as it takes. Like I always say, hour or whatever, but like your story might go through. I've had shows go like, how long was our show with you, me, and Jamie? That was like 2.5 hours, bro. It was really longer than you think.
I was sweating the whole time.
But see, people don't realize it. It's a blink of an eye type deal. It just when we start telling our stories or whatever, and I said it in there too, but you never know what impact your story might have for someone else. One of these fellowships, like basically, it's just we found ourselves in someone else's story, and that I don't know if it comes down to you're never alone, or I don't have to be alone type feeling, whatever. So the goal for you is school, getting your all that handled. So when I know you got mama or you got baby duties tonight, so I'm already gonna boot you and give you a job to do is find someone else to fill your seat when you go out there. But tell me about your gratitude. This is Attitude for Gratitude. Tell me your gratitude.
My gratitude goes to my sober network and friends. I mean, if I didn't have my sober people that I rely on, I don't think I'd be where I am today. And one of the biggest supporters I've got is Kevin, who's also just decided to hop in. But he's a big support for me, and I love him, and I love my sober people, and I'm not going nowhere. So you'll see more of me around.
That's what's up. Thank you. One last thing. I think you guys started these right away, didn't you, last week? Because there's someone.
I'm gonna be real.
Hang on. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, be real.
I'm gonna be real. I can't even think of his name. He was,
Yeah,
like, trying to pass
Ray,
it to me
the one that I
today.
talked to you about in
And I
the.
was like, started reading them. And I was like, those are like end questions,
Yes,
man.
yeah.
That's not like we could just go freestyle recovery conversations and like find out what's going on.
We'll talk
in
more
your
about
life.
that after. Real quick, pick a number 1 through 100. There isn't a wrong number.
44.
Okay, 44. And then I boot you. The zombie apocalypse is coming. Who do you want with you?
People I know that are going to support me. My sponsor, my friend Kevin, just a bunch of other sober people, because I know that I can't do it alone. It's a we program.
Atta girl.
And with that, thanks.
All right, go find someone. Grab Shorty Duop, who's hiding behind the mirror. Who are you again, young man?
My name is Kevin B.
Let me personally thank you while I have you on here for last week, stepping up to the plate and filling in for me.
Just so everybody knows, I'm not taking over Tim. I work with Tim when he needs help. Not tonight, though. You want to hear what recovery is for me?
Yeah.
Recovery was saying no to Tim tonight and making sure that he gets out of bed after a hard day, because I was in the car for like 6 hours. So, we all
you
got
out of bed. Is that what you heard me say to you?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was gonna say I didn't tell you I was at work, bro.
I know.
Hang on, did I talk in this one? I was at work.
I'm just messing with
All
you.
right.
I just
Okay.
messing with you.
No. So I'll finish what I was saying. Thank you for stepping up last week and filling in this seat. And I know moving forward, this is who I was talking about before you came in, is probably the first Friday or the first 2 Fridays of the month. We're going to explore doing an open show, and Kevin will be the host. Or he'll do whatever. He'll have a co-host. The show's going to maybe be like his. He might even have a different name for it. I don't know. It's a free-for-all type thing. I don't run nothing but my mouth. That's it. Like, I'm not in charge of nothing. Kevin, what are you doing for your recovery?
Oh my gosh. My recovery is the first building block in the foundation of my life right now. And like what that looks like is that even sometimes when I don't need to, I still get up super early and do all the things that a person you would think would do. One of the big things is I'm diabetic, so I cook myself food and not sober house food every morning when I wake up, because I can't even have a good thought unless I put good things in my body. But, one of the first things I do is pray. Sometimes I pray for the other people in front of me in my car. Sometimes I pray for the things that I'd really like in my life. But, recovery for me is picking up trash, is filling the toilet paper when you see it empty. Recovery is saying no to Tim sometimes and saying yes to Tim other times. When he asked me to cover last week, I was thinking it was my graduation day, and I said no. And then he asked me again, and I was like, so I'm graduating college May 18th.
We have sounds we can use.
I do. I was wondering where they were at.
Now you know. We'll spend time going over all this stuff. But so you're graduating. You got a lot of things coming up.
So what is recovery doing for me? I was just thinking about saying this tonight, and I didn't say it, but when I talk about gratitude, if you're not grateful in a moment, take a moment and write 40 things that you're grateful for. And by the time you're done with that list, you'll forget what you weren't grateful for and what you have in your life. And it doesn't always work, especially when you're still mad at a girl or how the world is treating you. But at the end of the day, man, just walking over and seeing Tim a second ago and having him finger me in here. He's like, "Come on in."
You guys love when I
After I said, that's funny actually. After I said I wouldn't do the show tonight because I had a long day. I had the longest day of my life, it seems like. And I know that I'm sure, like, I think next week I'm doing the show. So whenever Tim needs, I'm here.
And I appreciate you for that too. Big time. You know that. I've said it more than once. So
That's recovery.
yeah,
You know, when
saying
you-
no and saying, I mean, that part about saying no, I still struggle with it. I truly do, saying no to things. All right, well, and we're gonna keep things moving and moving and moving. So all this little shit's gonna be, just don't let her. She walks the soundboard. He walks the soundboard. I always forget until I see that big ball bag back there. It's a he. All right, little kids watch the show sometimes, so watch your mouth, Tim. Attitude for gratitude. Tell me about your gratitude.
my gratitude doesn't end. My gratitude doesn't end when I think that I've found it. My gratitude is always looking out for more things to be grateful for, because when you fill your heart with the things that you're grateful for, the opportunities come after the lessons. The blessings come after the lessons usually. So, get uncomfortable, go through some lessons, find some growth, and then accept the blessings that come and with gratitude. And that's how it works.
Your dad got her doing that shit.
Chewing on the cord.
Yeah.
Love everybody. Love everybody.
Hey, no, one last thing.
Okay.
Pick a number 1 through 100.
77.
77. What was your favorite game to play as a child?
Oh man. It's still my favorite game.
Doctor? What?
Zelda.
Oh, hell yeah.
Zelda.
Zelda.
And I just recently worked up the entire series from the original Zelda all the way to beating Breath of the Wild 2 or Tears of the Kingdom.
Whenever that's what I think of is Zelda. The gold, remember that gold
Yeah.
Zelda game? And I love you, Kevin. I'll talk to you. We'll figure things out moving
Yeah,
forward.
we will. Call me.
All right. Hey, when you run into Paul out there, tell him I got his kid in here and he needs to come in for a sec. So before we do anything else, who are you, young man? Welcome to the show.
I'm Dustin.
Dustin, welcome to the show. Didn't I have you?
I did what was it, 2 weeks ago? I did with Rambo Barbie and Big O.
They got you in
Yeah,
before
they-
me? That's bullshit.
They did. Don't take it personal though. I would have
I don't, because honestly, what I'm, and I shouldn't cut you off, but my plan was to talk to you about getting you on for a show. Normally, like me and your pops could be, me and Paul have gone back and forth so many times about the idea of what this is. He would like it to be like an event for meeting goers.
for sure.
And I'm like, what it was for 3 years before I brought it here from 2218 was I scheduled 2 guests.
Yeah.
Come on, we tell me your story, and blah, blah, blah. People interact online. And it was working well. And then at the other center, it turned into a party. It was so fun. And then I lost interest and I started having guest hosts. And it's a me thing. I just got sick of hearing newcomers come in and talk about all the dope they were doing. And
Yeah.
it was a me thing. And like we compromised, blah, blah, blah. So now like he's gonna do that for the first 2 weeks of the month. I think we'll do like an open door thing.
Yeah.
And the last 2 weeks we'll keep doing scheduled guests. I still do scheduled guests, but there's just no there's no like regularity to it right now because
Sure.
we haven't set nothing in stone. Back to why I went into that whole story. I'm planning on talking to you to get you on as a guest. I want to hear your story, bro.
Yeah.
And something like tonight, it's usually just you've seen how quick.
Yeah.
But now that we're gonna have a father-son show, but and now I got you on there too, and I'd like to ask you, like, would you be willing to come on as a guest on the show to tell your story?
Sure.
All right, got you.
Sure.
I got it recorded, bro, live and everything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold you to it because we
Yeah.
got that figured out. I think that's what it'll be like the first 2 weeks. So it'd be like this near the end of some month coming up.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, even with that, saying to come on and tell the story, I think it's just one of those things that you kind of have to do, in recovery, because it's not really about yourself. It's about telling your story, and it might help somebody, even if it's uncomfortable for you, and
Right.
I try to push myself to do the things that maybe I don't necessarily want to do, but
Nice.
it can't hurt to do it.
Yeah.
You know, so kind of how I look at it, you know.
I know you. Who are you again? Welcome to the show. Who are you?
Paul Kalgatic.
Welcome back to the show.
I don't say that just because it's what we do. I am.
I am. He's always said that too. And it's one of those things that you've always said that I never really listened to. Just like when I'm like, "What are you up to?" And sometimes he's like, in a nice way, I'll just reiterate. He's like, "Whatever I want," or just
Whatever I want to do.
yeah, whatever I want to be up to. And I just love it. But oh, see, I'm so sidetracked. The dude, dad, son, why? What was I getting at? And then you're like, Paul, okay. There's a reason I brought you into this conversation. Oh, you told your all right. You told your story a few times,
Yeah.
right? Has there been a time ever that when you're done telling it, you're like, that sucked, man. This sucked. I didn't like telling it. I feel so dirty about it.
Not really. I
Go-
mean, there's times, you know,
I'm going to the point of what Dustin was saying about like it might be uncomfortable. Like usually after
Yeah.
you're done telling it though,
there's always something you forget or you wanted to add, or you know, maybe I shouldn't have said that or whatever, but it is what it is, man. This is the way I look at it is I am not the person that I was. I am who I am today. So, you know, and I say that often too. It's not who we were, you know, and I forgive myself and I don't hate myself. I hate the drugs and alcohol because them were the choices I made were on drugs and alcohol.
no, I agree. I think everyone who sits in
Yeah.
this room can contest to that and understand it.
Sure. Yeah.
But I do, when you were bringing that up, like I used to, my ego, early recovery, my ego was always like, I want to tell my story. And like, I just was like that. Like with 2 months, like I got so much to share with people, tell them everything. But what I was thinking is I was going to tell everyone how much dope I did and
Right.
the shit,
No.
you know, that, and over time though, the first few times, like it just reminded me about what you said. And I used to really be like, it's going to be uncomfortable. Like I'd be nervous. But then I think about that. And I always ask me like, every time you share your story, like it's a little more freeing. And the other side of it is what you said. Like, dude, you might be helping save someone else's life for sure.
I
That-
mean,
yeah.
could be
Come
the
on.
littlest thing that you're not even thinking about, you know,
Right.
that somebody, it hits home for them and they might not even tell you about it. It's really not about that, you know, like me, I just think, you know, like, man, God works, you know, and so those little things, you don't even have to know about it. Things are happening all around you every day. And your job is to try to do your best. And through that, good things will happen, you know, even if you don't see it sometimes, you know, so.
There's this thing they talk about in one of the fellowships. It's like the people around you notice the change usually before you do.
Oh yeah.
Like you got family.
Yeah.
Like, do you have support with you? See, I don't want to get too deep into shit because we're going to hear your story,
Yeah.
but you get support from your family with your recovery.
Yeah. I mean, my family, obviously it's very, there's just been my whole family, there's been addicts, you know, so it's not something new. It's something that everyone's either been around, had the problem themselves, you know,
Right.
so like it's I don't know, it's pretty normal in our family, I'll just say. And so when I got sober, they understood. But I think too with that, like it's always tough because they understand, but they don't truly feel like how you feel. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And
Yep.
that can be tough sometimes because like so for one example, I went to a Easter and it was my like first, I don't know how many, well, it would have been, I got sober in February. So obviously April, go to Easter and I go to get this punch and right before I go to sip, I can smell it. And I went, whoa. I said, hey man, I wish you guys I could have sipped that.
Right.
And they were like, oh, it's okay. And I'm like, no, man, it's like, it kind of hurt me because it was like, you know, whoever's going through it, it's like, listen, man, I'm trying to deal with something right now. And I get that you might not completely understand or, you know, whatever, but that sip could have been a big deal for me. Not even on the fact that I'm saying like I would have drank it or then I'm going to go back drinking again. It was just the point of it, that it was like, I'm on this journey
Like
and,
respect
and I want you to just understand it and show just a little respect for
Yeah.
it, you know, and understand that. But now they do. And after that day, to this day, they always go, this is the non-alcoholic. And I appreciate
So
it.
it's like, okay,
You know?
yeah, you had to say. On one hand, it's like I shouldn't have had to say something, but
True.
I think about my own. Like there were times. How many times did I be like, I'm done, and I really wasn't, and they knew it, and I kept doing it. So the boy who cried wolf type of deal.
For sure.
But you let them know, and now they respect it type deal.
Yeah, and I think we got to learn that too, because like at that moment I was kind of pissed. Like I was ready to like leave and just go like, you know,
Because
and
this time you were for real.
yeah, and like, but then I also understand that like, hey man, we're all people, dude. Like none of us are perfect, and it wasn't intentional. But once I said that, I think they went like, oh, okay, like he's for real. Like, all right. And then since then, you know, like I said, they always make it a point to go like, hey, this is the non-alcoholic, and like, and I appreciate it because it shows that they remember that, they pay attention to that, and they respect it. So
you know,
Come on.
something that Dustin was saying is like, you know, and I remember when I first got started, people should respect my recovery. And, you know, I've come to believe and live by that. Listen, they don't have to respect my recovery. I have to respect my recovery, you know, because
Right.
not everybody's an alcoholic or an addict. And you mentioned that, you know, everybody has their own morals, values, standards, boundaries, this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, you know, everybody's journey is different, man. You know, even their respect, you know, you think, listen, respect is, I remember growing up, listen, you disrespect me, I'm going to disrespect you back. It ain't like that, because then it never ends.
Yeah.
You know, you say, you know, F you, and then it's like F U S O B, you know, and then it's, you know, it's on and on. One, you know,
eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind.
it's just
I
like
like that.
acceptance. The acceptance prayer is my key to recovery, man. Acceptance is the answer to all my problems, man. When I am disturbed, you know, pissed off, I can find no serenity, you know, till I accept that person, place, thing, or situation for exactly the way it's supposed to be at this moment. Nothing, absolutely nothing happens in God's world by mistake, you know.
Dude. Yeah.
Well,
It's just the facts. Because like I said too, is just the other day, it's like, I don't have the answers to this stuff, but I'm armed with some facts.
Yeah. And now you are though.
Right. And it's like, listen, these are the facts. This is the reality. You might not like me when I tell you this, but I'll tell you what, that's not my issue neither. You know,
That's a big.
I'm just telling you the facts,
Yeah.
and the reality is this is what happens.
I think that's important. That's really important, that what you said, and you should share that more. It's like, that's not your problem. Like the way you feel about me is not my issue.
Oh.
I mean, if I'm showing up like a shithead, okay. But like you said, it's facts. I'm gonna rewind it just a sec about something that Dustin said, because it just reminds me, you're like, when you said something, they all were like, whoa, like they knew.
Yeah.
So bro, you can come in. Come on. Did he really fold his arms? And all right. And it always makes me think of this. When someone says like what you just said, it makes me think of this other story I've heard so many times. And I always make them tell it again too. Is Paul.
Yeah.
Like everyone thought it was on some bullshit or it was all jokes and games until, what was it, with the keys and the car ride? I don't know if it was him or something, where you're like, no, bro, I can't. I'm not driving.
Mhm.
It was that one thing. You stood your ground. You're like, listen, guys, no, I'm done.
I think I remember, I don't know what the date was, or that one time when I think I had like 5 years sober, and I was like, you know, I got 5 years, and you were like, you know, I've heard this before, you know,
Yeah.
big deal. And I was like, damn, you know, it's not the profound shit we say, it's the profound shit we do. And I think that's what kind of happened, is he's just started seeing that, man, he's doing shit differently. He's a different person. You know, maybe he is. I mean, in that letter that you wrote me, you know, sick of the fake apologies and tears, you know.
Well, I think with that though too, like it always comes back to me too. It's not about you. It's about my anger. And like, you know, like at some point
Oh yeah.
I had to let it go. And you know, we were more running mates than father son for the most part, you know. And so, you know, like I had to let it go in the sense of understanding too. Like I always think of that letter, right? And that letter I wrote, I think I was a sophomore in high school, right?
I should actually go get it and read it.
And so, like when I wrote it, you know, obviously I was feeling a certain way and been feeling that way, and it came out and whatever. And but I look at that now, and I've always thought about like,
Listen, I'll go get it.
when I
I
hear
never knew nothing about this letter
Yeah,
thing.
go get
Go
it.
ahead.
when I
I wanna
hear
hear
it
it.
now, you know, when I say like his age in the letter, right? Like I can't remember. I think he was like 35 or something, right?
Oh, that's a minute ago.
And so I sit there and I go, like now, how I look at it, and I go, damn, man, what was I doing at 35? Like he was just a person at 35, you know, and like,
But you're saying that from this person.
yeah, now. And so like, and I can look now and go like, okay, sure. It doesn't take away from the anger or from what have happened or, you know, whatever else. But I also understand that like, listen, as a spiritual person and a follower of Jesus Christ, you know, like, dude, I got to forgive. Like, I can't hold that burden forever.
It only
And
hurts
so,
you.
Yeah. And so it's like, hey, man, you know what? It is what it is. He's changed. I've changed. So we have to move on from it. And I don't want to be angry at you forever. And I understand that, listen, man, we're all trying to figure it out on this rock.
I think that
You know,
shit's
like-
huge though. In your Paul said that acceptance
Yeah.
and you're basically explaining that in detail through a life story.
Yeah.
Like I need to, this was about you. Like, you know, I'm writing to Pops, but this was about you.
Yeah.
It's coming from you.
Yeah, for sure.
And how do you get past this at that time of your life? Like, this is what I've got to do to work through it or whatever. But you just like forgiveness. And how am I going to move past it? I knew nothing about this letter. So if you guys
So
are
here
cool,
you go.
explain what it is.
So I'm glad that he got to explain a little bit of it. But I'm going to tell you right now that this thing has been through storage sheds and this, that, and the other thing in years past. And I keep it in these plastic things because it's very important to me, and it's kind of moving. You want to talk about telling my story and being embarrassed or not proud of? This letter is embarrassing, and I'm not proud of it. But I tell you what, I love it, and it sure hit home.
Kind of
So
makes you part of who you are today.
it is.
There you
So
go.
anyhow, you know, I'll share the letter. I don't know. I'm glad he's here because it's numbered and it's this and it's that.
You cool with this?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll get through this. So it says, I remember the days I was told to pray for my dad to change his ways. And no matter how hard I would try and how long I would pray, he would go back to the same old shit day after day, sticking with it because I felt it was my place to help my dad overcome his disgrace and start over with a total different mindset of what needs to take place. A wife and 3 kids struggling to get by, but my dad's still not home because he's out getting high. But any sorrow for him, maybe a little, but not as much respect as we had for my mom working 2 jobs so that we could get by. Years later, senior in high school, but that didn't change the fact that my dad's a fool. Still using, yeah, that's what he does best. Because a good father he will never be to me or you. I got to find the numbers here. Let's see. At the age of 38, still no change. There are other things in this world besides getting high for days, like taking on the roles that you should have fulfilled. But no, let the mother do it. She can get stuck with the responsibility of 3 kids, but she never complained because she knew what she had to do. But you chose to ignore that you had to grow up from your childish ways of being a fool. The fact is, you screwed up so many people's lives so you could do what you want, but you never stopped to think that it was so wrong. Even if you did, you still wouldn't stop because your mind is one track and you don't care about others' thoughts. Maybe in time you'll understand what I'm trying to say, but who am I trying to fool? I've tried this every day to open your eyes to other things but trouble, but you chose that path on the double. Now you say I'm sorry over and over again, but I don't know if you're telling the truth or playing with my head. You expect us to forgive you over these years, but the pain and the hurt will never be held by your fake apologies and tears. If you think that this is harsh, you don't even know, because what you put us and the rest of us through is worse than you'll ever know. So when you read this poem, I hope it sinks in that all of the things that you have done are not at all easy to forgive. From hanging up to stealing from your loved ones and supporters that tried to help you through your bad times. You more or less stabbed them in the back so that you could get more money for a line. To think that I believe that same old lies over and over again. I'm sorry, it won't happen again, I promise. And still to this day, you're doing it all over again. I think that might be it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So anyhow, you know, it's pretty heavy.
That's very heavy.
Hell
That's
yeah.
heavy stuff, you know. And then when to read that, you know, I was like, damn. And
You
I'll
got
tell
this
you,
when you're sober, 5
yeah,
years?
yeah.
No,
I mean, when-
no. So he got it. The funny thing with that is too, like when I wrote it, I wasn't even going to send it to him. I wrote it for like myself,
Just get
kind
it
of
out
just
your-
release it.
Yeah.
And my mom found it. I can't remember. I think I might have read it to her, or she found it, or however. And she sent it out. And I was kind of upset at first because it was like, I didn't ask you to send it out. I wasn't maybe not even ready to send it out,
Right.
but she did. And then he got it and it was like, well, okay, like it's there
It's
now,
there now.
you know, and
Just
So-
like first time he poured it, like you.
I think we've chit-chatted about it before and talked about it.
No, I mean,
But I'm glad that
that-
he's here to explain, because
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I don't remember, but I just know that it's that important to me that I put it in this plastic. And it was like, you know, it's not even that it helped me. It's other people, fathers and mothers that, you know,
Yeah.
that are saying, you know, I was just a shitty mother, or I was shitty. No, we were fools, man. We were straight up, you know, and it says, you know, in here, hate the drugs and alcohol, man, not yourself.
Right.
You know, so a lot of it hit home, you know, because I was a very absent father. Yeah, you know, the preoccupation with drugs and alcohol was unbearable, overwhelming, unmanageable. All of those, you know, where am I going to get more? What am I going to do? How am I going to get? Who am I going to do them with? What bar am I? You know, just on and on and on. You know, so I mean, it's just that we went around thinking our kids don't know better, or that they think we're cool, and you know, oh, my dad's cool. I remember your buddies. Oh, you got a cool dad. It was be like, yeah, right. You know, so it's just to think, just know what you don't know might hurt you.
It both ways. It's kind of like the other side of it. It's like that little piece that you don't know how much it could help someone else, or just the fact of this situation, like reading that and then to see where you both were at and been through and came to, like, and I'm one of these weird guys, like, did that all happen for the way it was supposed to? And I don't want to believe that, because it sounds like there's a lot of trauma, a lot of bullshit to get to where you're at. But
for sure.
would you, and it's like talking if I won the lottery, but would you change anything if you could, even though you can't? It's not even a fucking option. So why waste breath on saying if I could change something? But everything went through what we had to. It was that God's plan for. I know that
believe
deep
though,
as
but
shit,
I truly
but-
believe that though. I believe God has a plan for all of us. And I think that everything we go through, bad or good, there's all a purpose to it, you know? And so now, especially more now, like even with my faith now, like we went to church as kids, you know, like my dad's parents were very
religious.
religious, you know, well, everyone kind of was, you know, back then, like it was kind of a staple. You went to church on Sunday, you know, and I remember me and my mom, we would go to church because I knew that she'd be sad. He put her through it, you know, and I would go, hey mom, let's go to church, because I knew it made her feel better, you know, and we would go, and it'd make me feel better too. But like around that time, you know, I'm starting to veer, and I'm starting to kind of go like, man, whatever, you know,
Yeah.
and like, but I did it because I knew
For mom. And
it made her feel better, you know, and then obviously to come back to it years later, you know, and just understand that, like, and all of this happened for me to be here.
That's right.
Or anybody else.
All
for
of
that
us.
all of
Yeah.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
all of
Like,
us.
and I know we don't think that sometimes, but I know in my heart, I feel it. I just know
Yeah.
that's how it works.
It's funny you bring that up, because you know what I always say, and in fact, somebody just said the other day in the meeting, is that we are not mistakes, you know, and I had added that, you know what, we all have a purpose, on purpose, for a purpose, you know, and our purpose here is, we don't get to know what our purpose is. We just got to keep moving forward, man. But we got one, or we wouldn't be here.
You're the first one I ever heard say we all have a purpose, for a purpose, on a purpose. And then that one of them and other things took me years for that to kind of click.
Yeah.
And I know, like I said, am I getting into some deep ass psychological shit? But no, it's like, and it's almost like, oh, that girl got raped type, one of them deep things. You went through some fucking trauma.
Yeah.
You went through prison and this and that. But was it all? It was all supposed to happen this way.
For sure.
Like,
I mean,
I
I just know that. I mean, even I'll give you a situation.
Come on.
Sean over here hasn't introduced.
yeah, I'm sorry. Who
himself.
are you,
Yeah.
young man? Who are you?
I'm Sean. I'm in recovery.
Right on,
Welcome to
Sean.
the show.
So Sean, I'll just
Sorry,
give a.
sorry. You were on mute. What's your name again?
Sean, I'm
What?
in recovery.
Welcome to the show, Sean.
So I'll just give a quick example. Is so I've known Sean for a long time.
Okay.
You know, and one day I'm calling him about an insurance guy. You know, just out of the blue, just, hey man, you still got that insurance guy's number? And Sean all of a sudden's he's dealing with it, you know. And at this point I'm sober, you know, and he's like, man, I need to talk, you know. And I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna get done with work and I'm gonna head over. Because I also feel too, like nowadays, like I'm not gonna wait till tomorrow. I'm not gonna
right
wait
on.
because, like,
You
who
know.
knows, right?
Yeah.
So I'm
Right.
like, all right, man, like I'm gonna go over here after work.
Mhm.
So I go over there after work, and I won't get into, you know,
Yeah.
what it was all about or anything like that, but he was going through it. And I'm like, all right, man, now at a different time in my life, that whole situation would have been different, you know.
People
And,
have been serving time over some shit.
yeah, and I'm telling him, you know, he's, you know, telling me everything, and I'm going, listen, man, I got to be true to you, and I got to just tell you, like, bro, like, I follow, like, it ain't like that, bro. Like,
Right.
100%, I'm not doing anything that's negative. You know, I'm just not, or I'm trying not to. I ain't perfect,
Right.
You know, but like,
Nobody
I'm
is.
like, hey, bro, like, it's not gonna happen, you know. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna go inside. I'll be back out. And no lie, man, he walked in, and I prayed, and I was just like, God, I don't know what to do in this situation. I don't know what role I'm supposed to play in this, but what I do know is I'm here. So just guide me and help me, you know. And then he came back in, and I was there for probably an hour or two. You know, we had a long talk, and it just, everything that came out of me wasn't thought about. It was just like, all right, man, like, and now he comes to the meetings. And so, like, think of that, right? Like, that simple thing of just calling about an insurance guy, him at that moment. How is it that I called him at that moment, the day that he's going through this thing,
Mhm.
right? Like, to me, that's not coincidental. That's a purpose. There's a reason for that.
There was a reason that you showed up that day and we discussed things, and
100%.
absolutely.
And I believe that in my heart, that, like, that was God going,
Come on.
today, Dustin, you got some work to do.
Mhm.
Gives me
You're
them
gonna go help somebody.
little goose
And
titties.
And Sean that day whether he knows it or not, God was telling him, tell Dustin and tell him what you're going through.
I was in a
And-
bad way.
for sure. And, you know, so like, again, and then even better than that. So we have this talk and I'm like, listen, man, what I can offer you is come to a meeting or come to church with me.
I
That's
wasn't
what
ready for a meeting.
Yeah, and that's what worked for me, right?
Right.
So I'm going, this is what I can offer
Bro.
you. You know,
Honesty, motherfucker.
he
Yeah.
wasn't ready
100.
for a meeting, but he was ready for church.
Hey,
So I said, hey, man, I'll come pick you up and we'll go.
nice.
And so I remember him telling me, and it was kind of funny because he goes, man, church, you know, like he was concerned about like, man, do I have to dress up? I said, listen, man, come exactly how you are. It's church, man. Ain't
That church
nobody-
is a little different too, brother.
True.
Okay.
That's why I go there,
Yes.
you know, but I was like, listen, man, don't worry about that. Ain't
Right.
nobody going to judge you. Ain't nobody going to say nothing, you know. What even worked better is not only did nobody judge him, but when we walked in there, every single person, for some odd reason, again, hey, how you doing? Love your shirt. Oh, hey. It was like,
I was wearing my grandpa's sweatshirt.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I'm just looking at him going, see, right? Then we sit down and the sermon starts, you know, the message starts. And so many times I tell people, it's like, listen, man, if you sit here and listen, that whole time, listen, my wife was with us too. And she kind of knew a little bit, you know, and we're sitting there and everything dude's saying relates to what we were talking about. That
It was weird.
and I'm just looking at him and I can just see it on his face. And I'm going, listen, man, I told you. You know, like, I don't know how to explain this neither. And it's just like when someone goes, oh, man, I want to, especially when it comes to like spirituality or going to church, when they're like, man, I want to see what you're seeing. And I'm like, no, it's what you're feeling. It ain't what you're seeing, dude.
Yeah.
It's a feeling,
Right.
you know, and when you feel it, good luck trying to get rid of
Right.
You know, a lot of those circumstances and stuff that happens, and we want to claim that, man, yeah, it's just a coincidence, man. That stuff is not really a coincidence, man. Coincidence happen once in a while. When stuff keeps happening like that, them are messages, man. Them are
sure.
spiritual awakenings,
I agree.
spiritual experiences, and stuff like that. That, man, something's going on. And again, we don't get to know. We just know that this is where we're supposed to be. This is our purpose,
So like,
at least for myself.
like Sean was saying too, like when I stopped over that night, that it had been a while since we
had talked.
like talked.
Yeah,
and hung out. We
just
might have seen
whatever-
each
right,
other through
right.
passing and stuff
Passing.
like that, but it was funny to like even him saying that now and kind of the vibe that he got from me. I knew that he was like, what's going on with this dude?
What?
Like,
Yeah.
this isn't normal. So I mean, like,
Who are you?
yeah, I mean, so
It threw
just-
you off too.
Oh.
yeah. So like, just for you to talk,
We've known each other for a long time, and Dusty wasn't like that. Okay.
I was a way different version.
Yes. Dusty was a lot different 10 years ago. Okay, brother?
Right.
A lot.
Like most
different.
of us. No, and I get it. So this is like a living example of what we've been taught. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Absolutely.
this is it. If
You
it's
know-
God, it's God, but
See, but that's another thing, right? Like I
Come
have a buddy who and this is my thing too. This has been happening so much that I started even telling my wife, like, this isn't what I asked for.
Right. I say
But
that
it
often
keeps
too.
happening.
Come on,
and
come
I
on with
don't
it.
know what else to do. And she's like, maybe that's your calling, you
Mhm.
know? And I'm going like, but this isn't what I asked for.
that's how
Right?
it works.
And so like, so even my buddy, same kind of thing. My dad obviously had a heart attack, right?
Mhm.
Well, my buddy works at the scrapyard where my dad goes. So all of a sudden I get a call from my buddy and he's going, hey man, you should call your dad. Something was up. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna call him. And he's like, well, yeah, I just want to let you know that my dad's in the hospital. He's not doing well. And I'm like, all right, cool. I said, where's he at? Well, so he tells me he's at Regency. I go, okay, I'll be there in the morning. He's like, well, you know, you don't have to come in the morning. I'm like, no, I'll be there in the morning. So he meets me there in the morning. I'm talking to his dad. And I mean, his dad and his mom, man, they gave me a place to eat. They gave, I mean, they're loving
Right.
people.
The good people. Yeah.
So no matter what in life, they will always be that to me. because they were there on my worst times, best times, everything.
Yeah, they're family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we go there and I'm talking to his dad. And so my buddy shows up. Now it's been a while since I've seen him, and just the way I'm talking and like telling his dad, like, hey man, just pray, and my buddy's going like, bro, what's going on with you? And I'm like, listen, man, it doesn't matter if you like this, if you don't like this, but I'm telling you what I'm doing. And this is where my life's going. And for a week after that day, he called me every night going, man, how can you believe in God? And I'm going, listen, man, you're calling me with all these questions. I'm not asking you anything. I'm good where I stand. He ended up coming to church with me, and he hasn't been back since, and that's fine. I just plant the seeds.
That's right.
Like,
Seeds
Yeah.
and from there, God he'll take over from there, and I hope one day he comes again or finds whatever he was searching for, because to call me over and over again and ask all these questions, there's something that you're looking for an answer for.
Yeah.
No.
And you might not get that from me. You might get that from somebody else, but I definitely would say to anybody in that situation, man, don't stop seeking it, because
That's why testimonies are so powerful.
it will hit you one day. And when it does,
There's
you will say to the next person, man, it ain't what you see, it's just what you feel, because it's a feeling.
Yeah.
And once you feel it, like I said, have good luck trying to shake it.
Well, there's that saying, be careful what you pray for, you might get it.
You might
That's
get
what-
it.
that's
Right.
when
Yeah.
Dustin was saying that, and you're like, I didn't ask for it. Like,
Right.
and Rob just walked by, and I always think of his story, like, in what you're talking about. And something happened to him right there. A feeling,
Yeah.
something came over him. He hasn't
Yeah.
been the same since that, like 2-3 years. He's not that same dude.
Right.
He's just
Yeah.
not.
Well, none of us really are. I mean, that's what this program offers us. Like they say, nothing changes if nothing changes. If you just come into this program and wander aimlessly, that's all you're going to get. Things either remain the same or they
Yeah.
get better, but they won't get worse if you apply yourself to this program.
Amen.
So, I kind of want to get out of here. There's a couple things I wanted to take care of here, but after reading that letter and stuff and listening to what's going on, I just want to share something that
Come on.
I wrote.
Oh shit, we got part 2. Come on.
Yeah.
Come
And
on.
then I got a couple things. Anyhow, it says here, and I ended up writing a bunch of stuff, after this. And I don't know, I probably felt the same way Dustin felt. I don't know what to do with this stuff. I remember at Breakaway, I felt like stapling them to a telephone pole and see who reads it, or do they throw it away or whatever. But anyhow, it says, I don't know why I did the things that I did, but I did what I did, and I feel like a kid. Well, God forbid I can only give in or continue to live in sin and remain with the pain within. Lord, help me to refrain, because this is insane. Knowing full well that I am only to blame for all of my shame. I have seen the flame and hear the fear. It's loud and clear, and it's perfectly clear, because I see it in the mirror. There is no future in this career of destruction, around and around till I just don't want to be found. Man, this is profound. God, please help me to touch down and come around, because I know that I'm tired of being bound and so tightly wound. So, there's that thing, like I said, in fact, somebody said it tonight, and I said it, so you're finally sick and tired of being sick and tired. Unfortunately, that's what has to happen, man. You just got to get tired of the preoccupation and the runaround with drugs and alcohol and just life in general and the reality of it. If you're no good at drinking and getting high, if you can't just have one, because there's people out there that can, man, find reasons to like this shit.
Yeah.
Instead of excuses to split, because the reality is, man, bad shit happens if you ain't no good at this stuff. You do
We
get
can-
sick and tired
Yeah.
of being sick and tired.
I can find a reason to leave. Always.
Yeah,
I can always find a reason.
Always,
Sure.
man. We'll come up with more
Yeah.
reason to go. Like I said,
I can
back
always
to
find
the
a reason to go get
coincidence.
high, so,
Oh, that shit's just a coincidence.
Nah.
No, it's not.
No, and I don't think that there's coincidences. I just think that things happen because they're supposed to.
Well,
Right.
And
Prepares you for this stuff
Yeah.
today. It
Right.
Bro, the
prepares
thing
us
that's
for
been
today.
going across the bottom of the screen, I didn't even switch it. I swear. It says God could and would if he were sought.
That's right.
I don't know who they must have switched it last week, because normally it's got a number. whatever. That's just I just now
It's
noticed
true.
that because I was checking the time.
100%.
Yeah.
Because I want to, yeah, bro. Like I want to hear about spiritual experiences. I want to hear. You're coming back on
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah.
Would you want to come back on and be on the show and tell a story? I'm not holding you down to a date right now. Just thinking about it
Yes, maybe.
because we got only like 7 words out of you tonight. But thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
So here we're gonna get to wrapping up. This is a part where it just gets a little fun. Real quick, just you make it short. Like tell me about your gratitude. What's that look like today?
Oh, my family. They're back. And it's
Hang on.
and it's
Important.
this
Paul, you know that of anyone, that's one of the biggest things. Paul's like, take all the time you need when you're getting clean time. When someone shows up here with family,
Yeah.
you always it
It is.
many family members as you want to
Right.
come say congratulations. Come on, all 10, 15. Congratulations, man. But
I got 6 months tomorrow.
Nice.
Big.
And my
Hell
first
yeah.
day sober, it was a coincidence. Or it
Uh-huh.
was Paul,
You can
Paul
still
called
use
me.
that. I'll let you go.
Yeah,
You still use
Yeah,
that.
I'll let you slide.
Paul called me and he's, dude, how you doing? How you doing? She come down sometime. You know, and I never wanted to disrespect the man by coming here drunk or me and Paul go way back and I have a lot of respect for Paul. He called me and how you doing? How you doing? You should come down. I'm like, I don't know, man. And I came down that night. I could find a gazillion reasons to
Not to.
come here, but I couldn't come up with one not to come here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't. And dude, I'm telling you, since then, I think I've missed
I see
2
you.
Fridays.
I've seen you
Yeah.
every
You know,
single Friday.
And you
bro.
do a lot here too. Service work is important, and you do a lot of it, man. You're always helping out. You know,
Always
what
at
can
that
I
door.
do? You know,
Yeah.
staying out of yourself. Yeah, you know.
That's where you
I'm coming
Appreciate you
around.
too. Yeah,
I'm coming around.
you're here.
yeah.
Bro, you're,
Sure.
look where
You
you're
got a
at.
purpose on purpose for
Yeah.
a purpose, and it ain't to be sitting in your garage drinking by yourself.
And didn't have to come back coincidence.
No.
Right.
You know?
No, right.
I always think about that when I walk into Will Work, guys. Like my first couple, I think I was less than 6 months before I'd walked in here. And I walk into rooms like, I don't know if you've been to any other recovery spots, but
I had all that 30 years
then,
ago.
all right. So then, you know,
So
you,
yeah, I'm
then-
not. This isn't my first.
all right.
rodeo.
So, you know, you walk into rooms and it's fucking yellow walls with 12-step posters and that's it.
That's not for
Yeah,
me.
this is definitely unorthodox.
No. And I didn't know that.
that.
I didn't know that. The only recovery I ever had was that for the few months. I thought that's what recovery was a table, basement of a church, and some posters of a 12-step. I walked in here, my whole life changed.
Nice.
My whole life changed.
Amen.
It did. It just-
Amen.
that's why when people are like, we're 6 months, fuck, hell yeah, bro. And look where you're sitting. I'm like, and this is recovery?
Right.
This busy
We've
ass
had
meth
people.
don't, like-
We've had people come in here and go, look around and go, these
Bullshit.
people can't be sober.
Right. Right.
and I can tell you, you're looking at one of the happiest people in the world.
Well,
And I'm sober.
yeah.
I haven't shoved a needle in my arm in over 8 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Good.
like,
Yeah.
bro, family, that's awesome.
Yeah.
6
Family.
months, that's a miracle.
Family, 6 months tomorrow.
Thank you.
And
Nice.
thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.
Because I mean, serious. I came here. I was expecting the, you know, AA, the big book, you know, just 12 stepping and
No.
you know what I mean. And I came here and I was just like, wow, this because I was no good at the script AA,
Structured,
The structure.
structured.
disciplined.
I'm not a structured guy.
Most of
Most
us
of
ain't.
us
That's why
ain't,
we ended
bro.
up here.
Man.
I love this place, and it keeps me coming back, and the people here kind of keep me sober because I don't want to be that guy and come in. I mean, if I was to go home and drink tonight, I would have to come in and share it, and I don't want to be that guy.
Well, you know what they do say is that AA ruins your buzz.
Yeah.
It sure does. You know,
Ah,
but it's much better this buzz
Yeah.
than
Tell
that
'em.
buzz.
yeah.
You know,
it
the
is.
guilt and shame just riddles you when you start to
it
drink. So
sucks.
you're just kind of like going, ah.
I remember, like I said, I remember a few months before I finally did really quit. There was a few times I'm like, I'm done. and I
We all
went and
had
got
that.
high, and it was miserable. It was
Yeah.
like, you guys, you wrecked my. Sorry, so cool. That's your gratitude. Pick a number 1 through 100.
69.
And there's no wrong number. Let's see here. 69. That's stupid.
Okay. Put a 70.
What's your no? I didn't mean just because a lot of people ask this and I forget it's this one. What's your favorite traditional holiday?
Christmas.
Christmas. All right, we'll go to the next one. What fictional world or place would you like to visit?
Oz.
Fred Flintstone
Oh. Battle Rock or what's
Bedrock.
Bedrock.
Yeah.
Dustin.
So gratitude first. right?
Gratitude. Yeah,
All
you
right.
know the script.
Gratitude, man. I'm grateful every day. I mean, for everything. Like everything is special. You know, waking up, just getting up in the morning, grateful. Being able to go to work, grateful. Just everything, family, all of it. I mean, just it's a blessing to get up every day because there's people that don't know more.
Yep.
And you know, so
Yep.
every day is a blessing, man. So
100%.
And we're losing a lot of them.
yeah, so just every day, man. Every day.
Nice.
Dope ain't no good, and they telling on you for free out
Yes,
there.
Right?
It's
And
That's right.
number,
reality.
Okay, good.
we'll go with what number? We'll go with 27.
I watch people. They like, well, I'm like, dude, there's no wrong number.
Yeah,
All right, 27. If you could instantly be an expert in any subject, what would that subject be?
Ooh,
That's a deep one.
an expert at any subject.
Yeah, some of these are corny, and others they go deep.
God, that's a tough one.
Right?
Expert at anything. God, I'm stumped, man. That's a really tough one. An expert at anything.
I was gonna say, is your ego too. I was gonna say, what about the whole?
Okay, I'll give you that. An expert at golf.
Because I was gonna
Yeah.
say,
Because then I could get paid.
Because
to do
you're an
it.
addict.
That's a good one. Yeah. An expert at golf. I would, yeah.
I was,
I'd get paid to do it and travel to all the warm places.
Hell yeah.
that's the
That's
other
not what
thing. I had all this thing I wanted to ask you about, like golf recovery, some, but we're saying I got some shit for you, baby.
Yeah.
All right, gratitude
Gratitude.
first. So listen, man, I don't want to rain on your parade or piss on your picnic, but I'll tell you what, man, something's dawned on me with gratitude, and it's because I'm grateful for everything too. Every day I wake up, man, first thing, I'm grateful, period. But I'll tell you what, man, gratitude is an action, and it means a lot more when, like, I'm grateful for my truck. Well, then change the damn oil, check the brakes.
Yeah, no, you're going into depth about what your gratitude looks like. That's
Yeah, I
cool.
mean, because I can say I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. Well, what's the action?
Yeah.
Or do you just say that? It's like the
think-
Serenity Prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all memorized. Everybody
Yeah.
knows it. But man, if you internalize that thing and think about it, God,
Think
grant
about
me
it.
the serenity to
Yeah.
accept the things I
Dude,
cannot
yeah.
change.
I used to share that with you, everyone. It was like a year into my recovery. I all of a sudden heard
No.
Serenity Prayer. I was going around to meetings for the next 6 months. Like, no, but bro, have you heard like the things I cannot change? Like,
Yeah.
when I finally heard it, like,
Yeah.
and people were laughing at me
Yeah.
and shit, but no, it is an action.
It is.
Gratitude is an action, if we're gonna be
then
real
what do
about
you
it.
do about it?
Yeah.
I can say, well, I'm grateful for, I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for this. I'm great. Well, then instead of maybe just saying, man, I'm grateful for that, I buy her some
There you go.
flowers, give her a kiss on the cheek or forehead or, just
no,
stuff.
you just took it
You
to
get what I'm
another
saying?
layer.
I
but,
just
like,
took it to it. Yeah.
Because
It's an
he's
action.
like, I'm grateful for family. You show up as a good dad.
Right.
Yeah, but
Instead
and I
of-
like that you break it down because a lot of us got to remember that it's not just fucking words. I gotta watch my mouth,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
not just words.
I'll give you another example, man. I'm grateful for this program because I'll tell you what, I remember going into Menards or into Home Depot and I bought some spray paint and I finally decided it was the wrong color or something, right? Well, I threw it in the candy thing by the counter. And somebody will bring this back. It's their job,
I see.
And I thought, you know what? I walked it all the way to the back end of the store and put it back where it belonged. And I was like, man, I'm grateful for this program because usually I would just throw it in the candy.
And it feels
Yeah.
good to do stuff
Yeah.
like that nowadays. Like
Yeah.
pick something up.
Stuff like that. Put your cart back where it belongs, at the
Open the door
grocery
for
store.
someone.
Yeah, I remember pushing them into the car instead of,
Yeah. You know what? And this, you're gonna ask the number, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell. No,
Yeah.
I'm not. I keep that to myself. Pick a number 1 through 100.
Man, I'm going with 61.
61. What is your favorite magical or mythical animal?
Man, I'm going to say the dragon.
Oh, dragon. Yeah, that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, boys and boys. Oh no, I stopped doing this a while ago. If you could have any superpower, any freaking superpower in the world, what would it be?
X-ray vision.
X-ray vision.
Herbert.
That's
Yeah, but look, are you talking about just clothes?
Just close. I'm
Yeah.
good with that. I'm good with just
Just
close.
close.
I don't need to see your heartbeat. Okay, I just need to see.
I
Yeah.
would say my would be to teleport. I'm kind of impatient, so to get one place to another
Yeah,
just
that
like
too.
that would be great.
Yeah.
Just teleport.
Yeah,
Just
no.
from here to there. Boom.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that.
I would take
I'd
that.
have fear in that though, because dude, what if you teleport into a wall or some shit? I think about
Definitely
Drive
have to. Yeah.
no,
Wear-
that's
wear a
the
helmet.
point. Yeah, wear a helmet. Superpower.
Man, there's so many.
Right.
And I'll just start with, like he said, teleport or
That's-
flying
Superman.
or
yeah,
being
flying.
invisible.
Yeah, but you mean
Fly on a wall.
demand, invisible on demand,
Or
or
whatever.
permanently.
That's a good one. I know you share that one a lot. What's your favorite superpower?
That's-
If you
yeah.
had- or you had one.
Well, if you're out there struggling tonight, matter of fact, you can come on down to We'll Work for Recovery. We still got karaoke going on. O runs that. It's been going pretty late lately, so it's 9 o'clock. It'll be going for at least another hour. So if you're, get outside of self, come
Oh,
on
it'll
down
be a
to We'll
couple
Work for
hours.
Recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4026 Washington Avenue North. Every day of the week, we've got stuff going on down here. You heard the beginning of the show. If you missed it, every day of the week, there's stuff going on. Every night at 7 p.m., we got a meeting. We got structured meetings every day of the week, so with the exception of Saturday,
6:30 in the morning.
6:30 in the morning, 7 on Sunday.
Great way to start your day.
Great way to start your day. Wednesdays, 5 o'clock. We got an all men's meeting. We've got an all women's
Good meeting.
meeting. Great meetings. Come down at 6 o'clock. Fellowship. Summer's coming. We're gonna have a bunch of tons of stuff coming up.
Adios.
Bike rides and blah blah blah. But most of all, if you are struggling, please just reach out. Just reach out. Find someone. Call Intergroup. If you're having some self-harm thoughts, call 988. We got numbers now going across the bottom of your screen. Utilize that. Otherwise, like, get outside of self. Go help someone, be of service. Get to church. Get to a meeting. Whatever the case is, service work's a good answer. Nothing happens by coincidence. I think I'm going to retitle the show tonight
Yes,
of that.
sir. Yes,
And
sir.
I got my next two. You see the two that will be guests on this show coming up. I'll lock down some dates and let you guys know. Other than that, we love you. Thank you. Next show. Bye.
All right.
Bro. Yeah.